Hello and welcome to another video. Today I will be doing a rebuild challenge as Blackburn Rovers, the fallen giants of English football. This team has went from being English champions to falling down as far as League 1 in 2017. I think it's my turn to bring them back up to where they belong. Welcome to the first season as Blackburn Rovers. You know, Blackburn Rovers, they used to be a good club, then the takeover happened and it just kind of went downhill from there. But I think it's my job to help them get back in the Premier League and maybe win some international cups. So I've made a short list of things I will need in this team for this season at least. One of them is a goalkeeper, possibly not the biggest thing, but possibly for the future it will be a problem. A right back because they're not that great. Two centre mids because the ones we currently have absolutely no potential and they're not that great either way. And another striker. So I've made a list of potentials here. A lot of them are on loan, sadly. Van der Voort seems to be the only goalkeeper capable of doing anything other than Gavin Bazunu, but he's on loan, so that's not happening. I have Dedic because he's usually left back, but I have a feeling he'll be good at right back as well, as that's his secondary position as well. He can play it. Estevez because he's amazing in right back, and you know, kind of just need a player like that. Wrench is already really good, but he's also way more expensive than anyone else on this list pretty much. But if I did manage to get him, then I don't have to deal with a right back ever again. Out of strikers, I go Scarlett, Delap, Juara, and Raspadori. I'm gonna be looking to get Scarlett or Juara the most. Juara because I have an emotional link to him due to FM20. He was an absolute beast. I also have Gilmore as just like if I was able to get him next season. He has amazing talent and potential, but he is on loan at Norwich, so yeah, I'm not able to do anything about him right now. So I'm going to try and sign a few of these with my 9 million budget and I'll be back to you. I'll also go and put out some of my players on the transfer list as well. Okay, so I've made the first 3 signings of this season, one of them being Gonzalo Estevez. I have made a swap deal which was included with one of our left backs and paid an additional 1.2 million. I don't think that's a bad deal. He's valued at 3.3 million. The guy that I transferred with was like 1 million or something like that as well. Not too bad. I'm pretty sure I could actually see that. Yeah, Pickering. Sorry, he was worth 2 million. I know he has some potential, but I really don't need a left back like that. And Estevez is gonna just be much more helpful. Then another signing I made was Delap. I paid 2.2 million for him. 1% sell-on clause. I know, absolute mad transfer that. And he's getting 13k wages. I know that's a bit much, but I didn't want to offer too little and then have problems with him. Plus, it's a 5-year deal, so I don't have to give him a new contract for another few years. And as we know, he has mad potential, so not gonna bother giving him a new contract for a while. Then, most recent signing was Franks. I've paid 3.2 million plus Rofel for him and a 9% selling clause. I know that's a bit much considering it's the same overall player, but Franks is much younger, much more potential. Honestly, just a better player overall. And he's only getting 9k wages on a 5-year deal, so it's not too bad. Now, the one thing that I did fail on was I underestimated how much they're going to want for Van der Voort. I know 2 million is like absolutely nothing. So, yeah, I didn't get him. They wanted 25 fucking million for Raspadori. I was thinking of maybe doing a swap deal and then throwing in the rest of my budget that I had, which was like 4 million at the time, which obviously didn't work. And I also just for a joke put in 1 million for Scarlett and they instantly called it off, so yeah, that didn't work. I'm gonna try and sign him still though, because I have a bit of budget left over. And I think if I sell the rest of the players that I have on my transfer list, which is a lot, I know pretty much none of them are gonna sell because they're fucking useless. But if some of them sell, I might be able to sign him still. And there is one thing that I have to watch out for. I don't have a good centre back. So, you know that we have Van Hecke, but he's on fucking loan. Now, I am going to try and sign him on a permanent at the end of the season or like halfway through it, depending on how much money I get. But the other new player I have is Lenihan. Now, Lenihan is good for now. He's getting old though, so I don't know how much more I have left in him. And everyone else on bench is just not great compared to Van Hecke. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. And I also have to get possibly another centre mid. And I cannot think of anyone. Another problem I have is that while Dolan and Kadra might do us for this season, after that they're gonna be fucking useless even considering their potential. They have like 81 and 80, I think, something like that. Diaz has 82, I think, so they're decent guys for like championship, but once we get into Prem, I'm gonna need to get new players too. And I don't have a left back either. Kaminsky's gonna stay for this season. Then I'm gonna try and sign Gavin. He's gonna be quite a bit, but Gavin's gonna be good. Right, lads. So a few things have happened. First off, as you can see, I have a 13.7 mil budget. Now, part of that is due to the fact that I've got to the finals in the European International Cup. Got like 1.7 mil for each of those. But as you can also see, I've sold Travis here for 7 million and Lenehan for another 4 million, I like to say. So yeah, I've sold Lenehan for another 4 million. Now, the fact that I have 13.7 million as Blackburn is kind of mad. But before I go looking for any more players, because now that I can actually get some better players, you know, I might as well do that. Right, lads, I've just pulled off something mad here. I had to quickly unpause recording because I honestly... What the fuck has just happened? You can see here, wait, Scarlett, right? 2.5k wages. That is fucking mad. He's like 87 bloody fucking potential. I paid 2.5 million for him. I know that it's a bit more than I wanted to, but I'm not bothered to argue with these guys, so 2.5 mil is what it is. But Dane fucking Scarlett, 64 rated. I know that's not a lot, but all I have to do is send him out on loan for 6 months, and then half season he comes back like fucking 69 or something. That is mad. Okay, so leading up to our first ever game in the championship here, as you can see, I again have an 8.4 million budget and 2 million profit. 290k wage budget. I'm pretty sure I've made 2 signings since we last saw each other. I have now signed Bella Kochup and I've signed Zalewski. I just want to make sure I'm not missing out any transfers, so I'm just going to go onto my club and show you exactly what's been happening here, because I haven't shown you all the sales. First signing was Vranks for 3.2 million plus Rothwell. Next signing was Esteves for 1.2 million plus Pickering. Then I signed Delap for 2.2 million from Manchester City. Then we've sold Lenehan to Empoli for 4 million. Sold Travis to Rangers. And then we've also sold, bought Ketchup from Bochum for 3.2 million plus Ayala, who was summed on centre back for like 1 million or something like that. Then I've signed Scarlett for 2.5 million. Signed Van der Voort for 4 million. I know I was meant to wait for Gavin Bazunu, but I just couldn't be arsed waiting a season for a goalkeeper that can develop into something. So I've signed him. And now I've also signed Zalewski for 1.5 million plus Dak, who's worth like 3.2. So I don't think that's a bad deal considering Zalewski has 84 potential, I think. We have also sold Rankin Costello to Gaziantep for 1.9 million. And we've now sold Gallagher to Fulham for 2.5. I didn't want to sell to Fulham, but that price isn't bad. Plus I got a 5% sell-on fee, so if they ever sell him, I'll also get profit from it. Okay, I've just done something maybe stupid for some of yous. I've signed our first very big player. Very big. Welcome, Ryan 8 Nowry. Okay, so we are at half season over here. 23 games played. We currently stand second, 2 points behind Fulham. We do not have any top... Actually, we have Burton. I did not think we have him as top scorer, but as you can see, Burton Diaz, top scorer in the league. Good we didn't sell him. So the transfer window has just opened. I've also changed around the budget. So now we have 9 million and 200k wage budget. Okay, so the transfer window has just closed. So I think it's time I show you what has happened within the transfer window. Stergiou from Leicester. Busio from Venezia for 7 million. Stergiou for 3.3. And I've loaned out Selmy, who's a guy from our academy. He's also with fairly decent potential. And then a transfer went through from Johnson. I did this a while ago during the season. He was getting a lot of offers, but wouldn't accept any of them. I finally took this one. And now he's gone, thankfully. Okay, so the first season is just completed. As you can see, we've just about scraped a victory. First place, Blackburn Rovers against Fulham. This was very hard to achieve, but as you can see, Burton Diaz absolutely destroyed the top scorers. As per, he's gone up a lot in value, and I will probably be selling him as I will need money to be able to stay up in the Premier League. We had Van Hecke on a loan. I want to get him on permanent because he's been playing very well and he also has fairly high potential. So I kind of needed him. I have spent 2 million and I've had to add in Dolan to be able to make this happen. As I didn't have any more money and I don't want to wait till the season is over because I probably still wouldn't have the money then. And I still want to buy a new right mid anyway. I've also sold Hedges to Besiktas for 2.5 million. Burton Diaz has scored 27 goals and 5 assists That is honestly amazing. Like, I don't know how he's managed this, but he has done it. Zalewski scored 13 goals and got 13 assists. That is also another very, very good performance from a player here. Delap has scored 12 goals, coming in every second game or so, as you can see here, because the other games, Scarlett was starting, as you can see, pretty much same thing. He scored 9 goals, got 1 assist. Not too bad either. Vranks has got 9 goals, 11 assists, 75 overall. The players have been developing very well, by the way. Okay, lads, I have just loaded up into the new season, and I saw my budget. I have 62 million. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna start looking for more players. I'll be back once I have some transfers done with, and then, we'll see what we can do here. So first signing was Lukiba for 12 million. Then I signed Wrench, 12.3 million. Elliot, 14.3. Ricci, 10.9. Then I sold Davenport for 2 mil. Bokowski for 7. Sold Wharton for 2.9. Sold Kaminsky for 4. Bought Bazunu for 5. Sold Butterworth for 1.3. Sold Maglior, loaned out Selmy, sold Burns, and that's about it. The season is just about to begin, and I guess I'll see you a half season or when anything interesting happens. Alright, so I join you here at the halfway through the Premier League season. I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking great. Blackburn Rovers are just outside of relegation. I mean, I wasn't expecting much. I'm trying to avoid relegation this season. Like, the team is improving slowly. Oh yeah, I've sold Carter for 3.3. But yeah, I don't know. Sold Buckley, sold Garrett, sold Eden, and sold Brown. Okay, so the Premier League season has come to an end, and we finish in not so good of a spot. But in the end, all that matters is that we stayed up. We finished 16th, 9 wins, 10 draws, 19 losses, 37 points. Welcome to third Premier League season. Our first game is going to be against Brentford. I'm hoping for a win here, but first, let's look at what transfers we have made. We start off with the fact that I sold Bella Kochup. Maybe not the best idea, but I kind of need the money to bring in some better transfers. I then sold Markandai and Kozłowski. I then bought Hlozek for 50 million, but, well, swapped Williams for Ricci, which was one of my midfielders. I have a lot of them anyway, so I decided to trade him in. I've then sold Broja to Aston Villa for 34 million. Just watch him be top scorer somehow. And I've then bought Nico Gonzalez for the money I got from him. So I think last time I left you, I bought Nico. I loaned out Delop for a year. And then the newest addition to the squad is Nianzu in centre-back. Okay, so we're pretty much halfway through the season. Again, we're not looking too good. 15th, only 17 points. Most of our games have been draws and losses. Right guys, so the season has just finished. As you can see, once again, none of our players have made it onto the top scorer list. Well, down below there is Diaz, scoring a whole 12 goals in 37 matches. So we made a comeback in the league. At some point we started winning and went back from, nearly relegation up to 11th for a while we were hanging around 9th. Anything above that was not within reach. Everyone was just too high points. I have signed Jay Hernandez. It's a regen from Atletico Madrid for 10 million. He's 74 rated, worth 5 million. I know I overpaid a bit, but he'll develop anyways. I've also sold Marshall, who was pretty much useless, for 1.1 mil. Loaned out Scarlett and Paredes. As you know, bought Fofana. Bought Branco. These are like smaller things I didn't show you. These are like possible regens or like just high potential players that I saw, so I decided to buy. Loaned out a few more. Got these two guys on a free. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this transfer window and the start of this season. The squad's looking like this currently. Okay, so halfway through the season here, we have 2 players on the top scorers list with Hlozek and Diaz. Hlozek having 11 goals, Diaz having 9. And as I obviously predicted, Broja, a player that we sold to Aston Villa for like a shit ton of money, is now the top scorer. But what do you know, he didn't score any goals for me, so it is what it is. As we currently stand, we are 7th in the league after 19 games played with 30 points, which isn't too bad. We're going to be challenging for the Europa League spots and hopefully getting into it. Yeah, we lost in the second round, which we are automatically into Tranmere Rovers. Okay guys, this is a big moment, right? As you can see here, we're just after beating Everton 2-0. Now, after winning this game, we have a chance to get Europa League spots. Maybe even Champions League, very unlikely though. Now for the big reveal. We've qualified for Champions League. Holy fucking shit, look how close that was. On the other side of things, let's look at the top scorers. Klozek coming out on top, 26 goals. Diaz was also up there, he scored 16. And then in the FA Cup, we went to the round of 6 when we lost 3-1 to Arsenal, who then went on to win it, so I guess not a bad result. Okay guys, so the transfer window has just ended. I've played my first 3 games, we've got 4 points in those games. Not the best. So the first thing that happened is I sold Van de Voort for 7 million. I then bought Gvardiol for 36 and Van Hecke as a swap deal. I think that's a good trade. I got a 85 rated centre back worth 66 million, and Van Hecke didn't want to sign a new contract with us anyway because the fees were too high for who he is for me. I then signed Dest for 62 million, mainly because Esteves wasn't developing as I wanted him to, and Wrench needed someone to sub on and off that's going to be equally as good as him, so there we go. Dest. I then sold Nyanzu to Stade de Reims for 31 million. He's 80 rated. I have better centre backs, way more better centre backs developing, so don't need him. Loaned out Paredes, sold Nico to Monaco for 40 million. I then signed Meslier from, I think that's Leipzig, for 41 million. He's worth less than that, but he's a good goalkeeper, still young, can develop a lot more. Then I signed Rovella for 60 million. I needed a centre mid for backup after Nico leaving. I think this is a better player overall. He also fits my playstyle more and he doesn't want to be a crucial player. Loaned out Hernandez, loaned out Hurtado, sold Esteves to PSV for 13.5 million. So yeah, that's the transfer window done. Alright guys, so welcome to half season. As you can see here, our squad has also developed quite a bit. Another thing is, this is the best season we've had. So, usually you finished mid-table, kind of struggled to finish in a UCL spot last season. Barely got in there, squeezed in, bit of luck. Well, this season, we are winning the fucking Liga halfway through. And it's by quite a bit as well. We are 7 points difference ahead. As you can see here, I've only lost 1 game. And that was at the start of the season, over in August. We've lost to Wolves 3-2. Since then, we only drew or won games. In the Carabao Cup, we are in the semi-finals against Leicester. The FA Cup hasn't started yet, I'm pretty sure. But there's another competition, a big one, that wasn't even my main focus this season, but somehow we have managed to do well in. We are in the round of 16 in the Champions League against Madrid. Now, this will be a hard matchup, I know that. But potentially, this could be the ending season if everything goes well. If we manage to win the Champions League this season, this will be the end. Now, I know it probably won't happen. It will take us another season or 2 to stay up there and, win it finally. But just how quickly you managed to get over here from, barely staying up in the Premier League to going into first, and that far in the Champions League, is honestly a big thing. Right, well, I don't have much else to say. I guess I'm just gonna continue playing games and seeing what happens. And I will update you when anything interesting at all will occur. As you can see here, lads, we've won our first trophy. Not a big one, but still a trophy. The Carabao Cup is now ours. That's what I wanted to show you. I'll see you again at the end of the season. Well, lads, buckle up, because I have a surprise for you. As you know, this season was going very, very well. As you can see, the players have developed absolutely amazingly. Sadly, Williams in the last game picked up an injury. But the injury has got us somewhere. Because, boys, we have won the fucking Champions League. Now, I just want to show you what this team has achieved. Champions League. 1-0 against Real Madrid. Semi-finals, 3-2 on aggregate against Borussia Dortmund. Quarter-finals, 3-2 against Mönchengladbach on aggregate. Round of 16, we have gotten 2-2 on aggregate and 5-4 on penalties. Very tough group, very tough match. In the group stage, it wasn't all that easy. But we did come first with 11 points, drawing with Sevilla. We nearly didn't get off the group. If we didn't get that win, we would have not gone up. But we have. On to the next competition, the Carabao Cup. As you already know, we have won it. 2-1 against Liverpool. FA Cup. We have won it 2-1 against Liverpool. And now are you ready for the Premier League? We have won the fucking Premier League with 82 points. I honestly don't have words for what just has happened. We've won the fucking quadruple. This is just unbelievable. So what started as a small rebuild for Blackburn Rovers that was considering to take at least 10 seasons for us to even consider winning the Champions League, we have done it this quick. Now, I wasn't counting how many seasons it took us, but I think it was about 5. Let me see what year we are in. We're in 2026, so it took us 4 years to get to where we are now. This is unbelievable. Well, I guess there's only one more cup for us to win, and that is the Super Cup. I'll be back to you so we can watch that. Well, so we can look at the result at the same time together. For now, I have to do the World Cup with Poland though, so we'll see how that goes too. Alright guys, so welcome to the Super Cup. We've already won the Community Shield, which is against Manchester City. And now here's the big day. Will we win absolutely everything this club has to win? Let's see. And we've won 2-0. This is honestly just unbelievable. We've took Blackburn Rovers, fallen giants that were just ready to be awoken by some amazing manager, such as myself. We've took them to win the Premier League, Carabao, FA, Champions League, Community Shield and the Super Cup. They've won everything they had got to win. I think this rebuild is successful, and I think that it is over. There isn't anything else this team can win. They've done absolutely everything. We've had a player from the starting 11 back in the day go as far as to this season. I've sold him because I needed money to sign Bellingham. Don't worry about that part. But Diaz has become one of the best strikers in the world. He was 91 rated when he left us. Signings from the beginning, such as Wrench, who came to us in the second season, Elliot, Zalewski, all of these players who were with us for so long have managed to stay in the team. Nari was one of our first signings, big signings, and he's also here. The team I've managed to build here is honestly one of the best I've ever seen. The weakest link is the goalkeeper, and that's purely because he's young. I can afford someone better if I want to. I've still got 170 million to spare. I'll show you the transfers that have happened. I honestly don't know where this money is coming from. So first off, I loaned out Xavier. I then bought Michalski, trading him in with Delop. I saw this guy when Lewandowski retired and I was playing the World Cup with Poland. He absolutely saved our arse in 2 games and got us into the quarterfinals. No, semi-finals, and then we came fourth because he didn't win against Brazil in the 3rd place. I then sold Scarlett, who was unknown the entire time here, apart from the first season, I think, to Wolves for 70 million. He was 80 rated when he left us, still is. Good sale. Then bought Bellingham for 150 million from Inter. Sold Brereton Diaz for 240 million. This guy is absolutely insane. But I've got Hložek and I now have Michalski, so I didn't need him. Plus he's 27, so he's not going to get much better than that, while these lads can get much better than him. Then I've signed Nuno Mendes, the newest addition, just before this game for 105 million. He's worth more than that, so I think that, oh yeah, 105 million plus 1 extra euro. Don't Arsene Wenger. I then sold Parr, that's one of our youngsters, to Torino. He's 2.6 mil worth, 68 rated. He's probably the new Messi, but I really don't have right wingers and I need to make some money off of youngsters somehow, so I've sold him. 2.8 mil, not bad. So guys, I don't think I've anything else left to do here. I might sim the next season to see what will happen. Right lads, so I didn't want to leave it off as just winning everything in 1 season and then ending the whole thing. Just didn't feel right. So I decided to build the best possible team I could with the money I had. And here it is. So I've got Courtois in goal. He's a bit old, but he's the highest rated keeper I thought of at the moment, and you know, here he is. I've got Gvardiol and Fofana still in defense. Nori still in left back. I bought Mendes just to have him as a backup. Hakimi right back. Wrench is on the bench now. Frank Franks and Bellingham still playing in midfield. Well, Bellingham's a new addition, but he's been playing since out of the season. Zalewski's still in left mid. He's honestly just been insane for us. I've then got Anthony on right wing. He's just going to be subbing in for Elliot. I've sold Nico Williams as Elliot was younger and they're pretty much the same player anyways. Klozek still up front and Michalski alongside him. The bench is one of my youngsters, Yara, Elliot, Ravella, Busio, Meslier, Rensch and Mendes. And then here there's no one really that interesting for the amount of time we're going to spend here. This guy's actually quite decent, but you know how it is. And Basunu's on the bench. He just never really developed like I wanted him to, and I don't think he is going to, so we're going to be trying to sell him. Now, I usually skip past these games one by one, but I really just want to see how the boys will do if I leave them for half a season themselves. So I'll be back to you after half a season. Alright lads, so I'm back after half a season. As you can see by the league here, the boys haven't been doing terribly. Also not great though. 19 played, 12 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses. Definitely not as good as I did last season, but the boys aren't doing the worst. Looking at the squad, for some reason Anthony is unhappy because he isn't playing enough, even though it seems like he is playing. Bit odd, not gonna lie. Development has been doing alright apparently over at this side. Let's see. Let's look at some stats. Maybe that will tell us what's been happening a bit more. So if you look at appearances, Klozek has got the most. He's also got 21 goals a half season. That is honestly a bit mad. Other than that, the boys haven't been scoring all that much. Assists wise, Elliot is on top. Right, let's look how we're doing in different competitions other than the Prem. There. Oh Jesus, we lost to Sunderland on penalties. Okay, that's not a good start. We have got through and we've got hurt at Berlin. Okay, not bad, not bad. The Premier League is still up for grabs. Alright lads, well, just judging by the fucking manager rating, it's clear to say we haven't done that well. We've also not won the league title. What has happened here? Maybe let's start with the Champions League, so I'm not that disappointed. Okay, we definitely didn't get into final. Not the semis. Hertha going to quarters, so that means we got knocked out by Hertha fucking Berlin. 6-5 on aggregate. Jesus Christ. That is bad. Right, let's take a look at the Prem. Actually, no. First, I don't want to be that embarrassed. What's happened in the FA Cup? Well, we didn't go ahead to win it. We didn't go in the semis. Not the round 6. Round 5, we lost to Manchester City. Okay, I guess it's not too bad. Could have been better, though. Could have been better. Ah, we came second. 1 point behind United. Ah, ya fucking bastards. Why United of all teams? Going to be Brighton. I'd be much happier with that. Well, I guess we will end on this bad note. I guess it isn't all that great. The team still managed to do pretty well though. Like, all things considered, they didn't do bad. Definitely not the best they could have done. You know, they probably could have won the league this season. We're very close to it. But we've still managed to win everything. We've brought Blackburn back to its glory days. Probably better than it actually was in the past. So I think I've done my job quite well. Now if you enjoy this type of stuff, let me know if you want to see more and what clubs I should take over next. It doesn't have to be in the Premier League or England at all. It can be Italy, maybe Serie B. I don't know if Serie C is in FIFA, but I could do that too. Any team that you want me to see bring to the top, even if it's from the fucking Irish League, I will do it. Until then, enjoy and I will see you next time.